Our first inductee into the class of 2007 is Peter Barrett, an accomplished sailor who competed successfully in numerous national and international competitions, including 2 medals in 3 Olympiads. He is the second sailor to be inducted and joins his dad, A.J. Hunk Barrett, as one of the few father-son inductees. Ice boater Carl Bernard was the first hard water sailor and was inducted into the very first class in 1963. Peter was born at Madison General Hospital in 1935 and grew up on the East Side. His dad was principal and football coach at East High, and his mother Bernice was the first Madison City tennis singles and mixed doubles champion. While Barrett had many interests growing up, it was sailing that grabbed his attention. His first sailing memory, according to his wife Lori, was in a starboat owned by his aunt and uncle on Peoria Lake in Illinois. After that, he got an old rowboat, rigged up a mast, and sewed some old draperies into sails. One summer, his aunt and uncle invited him to Peoria and helped him build a real sailboat, which they then brought to Madison. He sailed it for several years but wanted a racing boat. He was still too young for races, so he crewed for his friend C.J. Johnson in Mendota Yacht Club races. Barrett played football, basketball, and track at East High, and his senior year helped the Pergolders to a season-opening win over Oshkosh when he intercepted 2 passes, preserving a 14-0 shutout. His prep career ended when he broke his ankle in a football game. In school, he was in the top 10% of his class, National Honor Society and debate team member, the school paper's sports editor, student council rep, and homeroom president. Outside the academic walls, he was a Sea Scout and an alderman on the East Side Youth Mayor's Council. His competitive sailing took hold when he earned a scholarship to Cornell University in New York, and he joined the sailing team. At the end of his first year, he had straight A's, but decided he wanted to learn how to build boats, so he transferred to Webb Institute of Naval Architecture in Long Island. Again, he joined the sailing team, but after 2 years, he found Webb would train him only to build large ships, and he wanted to design sailboats. So he transferred to the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1955 and received a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. He stayed at the UW and also earned a master's in engineering and a law degree. No, yes, he did continue sailing, was active with hoofers, and sailed on the university's sailing team. Barrett's first honor as a competitive sailor came in 1957 when he teamed with Bruce Goldsmith, Art Mitchell, Dexter Thady, and Otto Shearer to win the Collegiate Team Race Championship. About this same time, he met another hoofer sailor named Lori McClure, and they married in 1958. Peter's next goal was to make the U.S. sailing team for the 1960 Olympics in Rome. Barrett had focused on racing the Finn because it was the only boat that is sailed by one person. He made it through the U.S. trials and headed to Italy, where he finished 11th in his first Olympiad. That put him in the top third of all competitors. 4 years later, Barrett competed in the Finn at the 1964 Olympics in Tokyo. He won the silver medal, and except for an unnoticed rules violation, he could have taken the gold. In the 5th race in the series, Barrett slightly touched the rudder of another boat, and the helmsman in that other boat didn't even notice. But Barrett disqualified himself. Had he finished in the top 5 in that race, and he was close to the lead, he would have won the gold medal. For the 1968 Olympics in Mexico, Barrett teamed with Olympic veteran Lowell North in the star class. The two won the gold medal despite North getting the flu before the final race. Barrett told North to concentrate on steering, and he would work the sails. In more than 100 years of Olympic sailing, Barrett is one of only 4 from the United States to medal in the Finn, one of only 12 to medal in multiple games, and one of only 3 from Wisconsin. Barrett had met Lowell North years before through sailing, and North hired him to work for North Sails Loft in California. Barrett worked for North Sails for 21 years and moved to Pewaukee, Wisconsin in the early 70s. He became the company's executive vice president in 1973. During his tenure, North Sails became the #1 sailmaker in the business. Education and sailing were priorities. Barrett added an MBA from UW-Milwaukee in 1985 and a PhD in 1994, 2 months before his 60th birthday. After retiring from North Sails in 1985, he taught finance and business law at UW-Whitewater. He retired from teaching in 1997, and they moved to Flathead Lake in Montana. He wanted to pursue boat building and sailing. He and wife Lori planned to sail their 30-foot boat to Alaska, but Barrett was diagnosed with cancer, and many plans were scaled back. In 2002, he was inducted into the Sailing World Hall of Fame. Barrett was also named to the Four Lakes Yacht Club's honor roll in 2001, recognizing contributions to ice boating and racing. Perhaps known best for his honesty and kindness, he is also memorialized with the Peter J. Barrett Sportsmanship Award. Barrett passed away in December 2000. Peter is survived by his wife Lori and their 3 children, Tara, Bruce, and Kevin, and Peter's brother Tim. There are also 5 grandchildren, Nola, Robin, Dylan, Hakeem, and Kareem. The American Family Insurance Company and the Madison Sports Hall of Fame are proud to induct this legendary sailor, Peter Barrett, into its Hall of Fame.